have no idea.
I feel like it's on. Hello, can you hear me now? Okay. Hello, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Oh, yeah. You know what? When I'm talking. Wait, is it working? Or is it working because I'm next to the microphone? Can you hear me now? Can you still hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? Ah, we did it. Is it working? Woo woo. Well done. Okay.
But this microphone is not connected to no, so it's got to be this microphone. Yeah, but it's not connected to the. Oh, it's connected for the room. It's not connected for the computer.
So do you know? But if that's connected for the room, then
We just have this here.
But then that is going to pick up the double from the room and the speakers.
I don't know.
No, it's turned off.
Oh, okay, good, perfect. They can just talk loudly and have that.
Yeah.
So we won't need this. You don't need this. Whip around.
Yep. No, I can't help you. My fingers are too fat for that.
There we go. Perfect. Exiting, just go that way. Just move it.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everybody. Olivia. Olivia.
Oh, is that from the floor, maybe?
Hey guys.
All right.
Sorry, I was on tech support. Never got a chance to say hello.
Maybe I don't know what I did.
You're all right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining us for what is the inaugural Activate Roundtable presentation. before I mention the guests that have joined us today, the concept of the roundtable through Activate Group was one where we wanted to make sure we were doing two things. One is that we were bringing, or we are bringing, interesting topics, relevant topics to a wider audience within the industry. But secondly, that we're also allowing many more of those people who write excellent essays as entries into the Joe Berry Award, and enabling them to put their case forward in public and for them to get more recognition for the hard work that they have done. And based on the success of this particular operation today, we will run more of these presentations in other parts of the country on other topics so that we're giving more and more people that opportunity. The Joe Berry Award has taken a huge leap this year, moving from 50 received essays up to 80 received essays, which is a fabulous arrangement for us. A difficult one, let me tell you, but a very, very good one for the award in itself. And from the conversations we've been having with people around the industry, we are expecting even more in the year to come, with more companies coming on board, approaching us to come on board and be part of that Joe Berry proposition. So the Activate Group is making as many moves as we can to make sure that we're putting more and more of these people out into the industry. So today we've got, as our first speaker, Dean, followed up by Veronica, both of whom wrote exceptionally good essays on store formats and the proposition we see with store formats in the future. And for many of us, those old people like myself, anytime we talked about store format, it was pretty much a bricks and mortar question. Is it going to be a store with 30 checkouts or a store with 5 checkouts? And that was kind of store format. But as you will all know, and you will all find out a little bit more today, there's a hell of a lot more to it than just the size of the store in itself and the logistics that would surround that. So I'm going to hand you over now to Olivia. Olivia was our recent past winner of the Joe Berry Award, who will introduce you to the speakers, and we'll move it on from there. Thank you, Olivia.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Olivia Gray, Joe Berry Award winner for 2024, and your MC for this roundtable discussion brought to you by the Activate Group. Today's topic doesn't only impact our respective organisations, but it also shapes the way we live, shop and connect. That is, the future of store retail formats in Australia. As part of my recent study tour to London, I was fortunate to see some of the latest and greatest in store formats. I visited IKEA's City Store in the heart of London, where online ordering and home delivery is facilitated through their distribution centres. Samsung's experiential store in King's Cross offers support services and workshops, pretty similar to Apple, but they also add a co-working space and a cafe. It also replicates immersive environments for shoppers to test out their tech. Tesco's Kensington store was equipped with Scan as You Go tech, was fitted out with a hairdresser and several food retailers that had rented out space. So what is the role of the store in 2025 and beyond? Brand builder, fulfillment hub, community space, all the above. Today, we're lucky to be joined by an incredible panel of speakers who will explore this question and share their perspectives on how stores will evolve to meet changing shopper behaviour and operational needs. We're very lucky to be joined by guest speaker Paul Harker, Chief Commercial Officer at the Woolworths Group. Before we hear from Paul, though, we'll hear from Dean Vasiliadis and Veronica Fong. Both of these guest speakers have been recognised by the Activate Group for their thought-provoking 2025 Joe Berry Award essay submissions on the topic of store formats. At the end, as Keith mentioned, we'll also have time for a roundtable panel discussion, and we'll open up the floor to questions from you all. And so I'm delighted to kick off our panel with our first speaker, Dean Vasiliadis. With over 15 years experience, Dean has started his career supplier side at Super Retail Group and Coca-Cola Amatil before joining Woolworths, where he's now the Centre of Store Lead in the commercial delivery and support teams. He's led several major programs of work across different department areas like bakery, beauty and alcohol to improve the customer experience, simplify operations and improve the bottom line. When I was chatting with Dean in the lead up to this event, he described himself as a corporate mechanic because of his passion for solving complex business challenges. And I thought that was a pretty creative description. And in his essay on store retail formats, Dean isn't afraid to be bold. In one section, he challenges whether physical stores for commoditized apparel are actually going to have a future when they're competing with the likes of Shein and The Iconic. And as someone who buys all my clothes in physical stores, that is something that makes me a little bit nervous. So I'm keen to see Dean's point of view. Please join me in welcoming Dean.
For decades, the formula for retail success seems simple: be convenient, be cheap. But today we stand at a crossroads. For any of us with a physical bricks and mortar presence, that old path is no longer a path to success. It's a path to extinction. We simply cannot win a race to the bottom against the operational efficiency and scale of online giants like Amazon, Alibaba, and Shein. Does anyone remember Mosaic Brands or Dick Smith? Mosaic Brands try to be everything to everyone with no clear mission in their in-store experience nor compelling online offering when compared to its competitors. Dick Smith, on the other hand, lacked a compelling in-store experience in a market segment which heavily relied on in-store experience to seal the deal with customers, supported by a great online experience for pricing and product research. So where do we go? We go forward into the future. And the future isn't about being the cheapest, it's about being the most valuable. The store of the future is an experience. It's a new ecosystem built on three core pillars that I call the trinity of success: customization, premiumization, and service. This isn't just a new strategy. It's a new way of thinking about the fundamentals of retailing, where customers, retailers, and our supply partners all find new ways to win together. Let's start with the most important person in the equation, the customer. Why should they get off the comfort of their couch, get in their car, and come into our store when they can simply research and order anything from their phone? We have to give them a compelling reason, a hook. We have to make our stores an engaging destination. This starts with the first pillar: selling a service, not just a product. Think about Apple. You don't just go there to buy a phone. You go there for the experience, the expert advice, and the seamless support. By actively engaging with their customers, they identify the next value-add opportunities, expanding their ecosystem into such examples like headphones, TV, and home automation. They built an empire on service. The second pillar is premiumization. It's about creating an environment where customers want to trade up. A fantastic example is Rebel Sport. They understood that real profitability wouldn't come from selling basic equipment online, but from growing their premium lines. So what did they do? They built mini sports fields like basketball courts and soccer fields in their stores. They allow customers to feel the difference between a standard football boot and a premium one. That memorable, tactile experience can't be replicated online, and it gives customers that confidence to invest in a more profitable product on a performance per dollar basis. And the third pillar is customization. This needs to be done smartly. Woolworths' investment into in-store bakeries is purposeful. They didn't just roll out a one-size-fits-all model everywhere. They were strategic, selecting stores where the customer base would appreciate it and where skilled labor was available. They created tiered models from full production bakeries to simpler bake-off and free store variants, each with their own unique ranges to match the specific customer needs and limitations of each location. This allows them to cater precisely to different demographics. For instance, premium customer segments gravitate towards artisan offerings like sourdough, which typically come from free store processors or are locally supplied from specialty bakeries. In other locations, mainstream customer segments tend to gravitate towards biscuits and cookies, which are perfectly suited for a bake-off model. And finally, value customers tend to gravitate towards loaves of bread and bread roll, which typically require a full production setup. The result? Not only improved profitability in the bakery category, but a powerful halo effect, causing an uptick in sales across the entire store. When you combine these three pillars, you win the customer. You give them access to unique products, valuable personal service, and an experience that makes them feel confident and excited. Now, how does this translate into a win for the retailer? It's simple. We shift our focus from volume to value. Instead of fighting over pennies on low margin commodities, we create high value, profitable experiences. This becomes our hook, our key differentiator that drives foot traffic and builds loyalty far beyond what a simple discount ever could. And this model has powerful secondary benefits, particularly when it comes to a major cost for all of us, theft. The old way was to use heavy-handed, capital-intensive approaches like lock cabinets, which create a terrible customer experience. The new way, integrated operations, where great service is your best security. My research identified two brilliant models for this. For a high-value, low-traffic retailer like Rebel, they secure high-risk stock in the back and use dummy stock on the floor. A team member accompanies the product with the customer from the moment of interest to the point of sale, all under the guise of exceptional customer service. But what about high-traffic grocery environments? Well, we can look overseas to retailers like H-E-B and Sainsbury's. They invested in the look and feel of their beauty aisles and funded dedicated beauty advisor resources. These advisors do three things. They maintain standards, they educate and upsell customers to emulate high street drugstores, and their very presence deters theft. By combining this with other subtle measures, Sainsbury's saw both sales growth and a reduction in stock loss. This is how we turn a cost center into a profit driver. This brings us to the crucial third partner, the supplier. In the old model, a supplier's role was often limited to merchandising and fighting for shelf space with their field support teams. In the new ecosystem, they must become strategic partners. Their role evolves. If retailers move away from commoditized offerings, the traditional field force becomes less relevant. This presents a trade-off for suppliers. They might save on those costs, but they lose a key competitive edge. To stay relevant, they'll be forced to compete on price or invest heavily in online real estate through services like Cartology. But the real opportunity lies in partnership. The future of supplier competition will come from partnering with retailers on the very strategic, integrated in-store experiences we've been talking about. Building on the H-E-B and Sainsbury's example, how amazing would it be if we could co-create engaging brand and product activation on shelf to tailor the unique customer experience we're collectively after? Further, supplier experts can provide the seminars and training to turn our staff into true, knowledgeable brand ambassadors for their products, which often lead to premium upselling driving higher profitability. This creates a level of direct customer engagement and brand equity that an online ad could never achieve. It's a powerful new competitive edge and a win-win for both sides. Of course, none of this means we abandon the digital world. In fact, we must embrace it more completely than ever before. The physical and digital must work together seamlessly. Our online offering has to be flawless. This starts with ranging. We must offer consumers access to the endless aisle, the full range of products from our entire store network and distribution centers. To restrict online range to a single local store alienates customers and leaves highly profitable sales on the table. Super Retail Group gets this right, ensuring a customer can get any product from anywhere in the network. I do also want to take a moment to acknowledge the emergence of third-party marketplaces, which allow retailers to offer more products without the risk of carrying inventory. This creates clear wins for everyone. Retailers expand their range, suppliers tap into a new customer base, and customers discover a world of new products. But there are trade-offs. Prices are often higher, and customer support can be a mixed bag since it's handled by each supplier. For the retailer, every sale is a test of their brand's reputation. Get the execution right though, and it's a victory for the retailer, the supplier, and the customer. Next is the online customer experience. The search feature is the foundation. It must be brilliant. Look at the online jeweler James Allen. They offer extreme resolution 3D imaging of their gemstones, improving upon the in-store experience at a lower cost. Further, we must also offer mature, trusted payment gateways like Apple Pay and PayPal to close out a simple, seamless transaction. Then comes fulfillment. The market has moved. Same-day delivery, pioneered by services like Milkrun, is no longer a competitive edge. It's a requirement. Here, our existing store network becomes our greatest asset. We can offer options like Direct to Boot, which my research shows has the best balance of low cost to serve for us as retailers and high convenience for the customer, with the added halo effect of them making secondary buys when they arrive. How many of us forget something from our shopping list and remember only after? Direct to Boot is the solution, as my wife has learned, often sending me in to grab those last few items. And finally, we must provide hassle-free after-sales support. A quick, robust resolution process builds immense trust. Whether it's an AI assistant like Woolworths Olive, resolving a product quality issue in minutes, or an incredibly generous return policy like the Iconics, where you can try on clothes and return them free of charge. We have to make the entire process effortless. So what does this all mean? It means the store of the future isn't a single format. It's a shared success ecosystem. It's bespoke, tailored to the target market niche and the categories with the greatest growth potential. It's a place where customers get a superior experience, retailers achieve profitable growth, and suppliers forge powerful new partnerships. The time to choose our path is now. We can continue down the old road of competing on price and risk a fate much like Mosaic Brands or Dick Smith, or we can build the future. We must focus on the trinity of customization, premiumization, and service, underpinned by that flawless online experience. We must build the ecosystem or become just another footnote in the history of retailing.
Thank you, Dean. That reference to Dick Smith really took me back to my childhood, eating their range of Aussie Mite and Aussie Nuts. And I know some of the slides were a little bit different for Dean, so I think it's a good example of adapting to new challenges, which is exactly what we need to do when it comes to new store format changes in Australia. So next up, we have Veronica Fong. Veronica is a national account executive at Ferrero, where she's responsible for coordinating key account operations for Woolworths to help deliver key sales outcomes, as well as key customer metrics. Veronica brings a unique perspective, having had experience in luxury retail visual merchandising for the likes of Chanel and Coach, where store format and experience obviously play a huge role in emphasizing brand positioning. Veronica is relatively new to the world of FMCG, and she mentioned that one of the reasons she entered Joe Berry in the first place was because she thought it would be a great way to learn about the industry, which is exactly what the award is all about. Her essay explores the shift from a one-size-fits-all approach to the impact of localization of store format. Please join me in welcoming Veronica.